What's going on, everybody? And I know, once again, I went weeks without uploading anything, and it's a lot of reasons for that, but I mean, I won't be making any excuses. I'm just going to keep, moving along. Within the next day or two, I'm going to be uploading a podcast or something like that, a video, one of the two, basically explaining what our upload schedule is going to be moving forward, or what we're going to plan on be making, the type of content we plan on making moving forward, especially with it being all season and things like that. But we're not going to get into that today. Like I said, hopefully that comes out within the next day or two. But today we have some other bigger news to get to. The Philadelphia Eagles have agreed to trade Carson Wentz to the Indianapolis Colts for a 2021 third-round pick and a 2022 conditional second-round pick. I'm not really sure how conditional picks work. I did see that it could turn to a first-round pick, and I guess that just depends on how, the season play out, if they have a certain type of record. Don't know how that works or whatever, but yeah, like I said, this trade makes all the sense in the world. When the first Carson Wentz trade rumors started coming out, the first place I felt like he should have been traded to was Indianapolis, because Frank Reich played a huge part in his development. And Frank Reich is one of those coaches that I feel like is highly underrated. He's a great quarterbacks coach. Phillip Rivers, coming into this last season, was starting off a bit shaky, and over the season, as the season progressed, I should say, he started looking a lot better. So, and like I said, Carson Wentz's best seasons came when he was with Frank Reich in Philly. So, like I said, this makes all the sense in the world. He's going to have an offensive line, a pretty good running game. A defense, it's going to be similar to, I don't want to say that because I'm going to get into some statements that I heard that I thought was utterly ridiculous in a moment. But like I said, it's going to be a pretty damn good team around him at this point. He's going to have a good coach there with him. Now, on the flip side of things, let's go back to the Eagles. I feel like the Eagles have done a great job at getting rid of everything that wasn't the problem in the first place. And I don't know how excited I would be if I'm Jalen Hurts. I mean, it's good that he's getting a job, the starting position, because I do think he had the talent to, start in this league, but we don't know what kind of team this guy's going to have around him. And if it's anything like it was last season, which it probably will be, it's going to be pretty bad, Like I said, the Eagles have done everything to get rid of all the stuff that wasn't the problem in the first place, because Howard Roseman is the problem, I don't think Doug Peterson is a great coach, but I don't think he's a bad coach either. I think Doug Peterson is a pretty damn good coach. I don't think he was the problem at all. Now, I do understand how the season played out and the way things happened. You had to let him go. It only made sense. But why wasn't Howard Roseman fired right behind him? This guy has done one of the worst jobs I think I've ever seen as far as drafting in the past couple of years. I mean, like I said, with the missing on wide receivers, not having an offensive line. I mean, if you gave Carson Wentz all this money, it would only make sense to try to build up an offensive line instead of trying to stick around with an aging offensive line, which was a big problem this season. Those guys were basically terrible. They easily had the worst offensive line this season, probably next to maybe the Bengals. But like I said, man, it's just he was the problem. And the thing with the Eagles now is you have a new coach coming in. You're going to have a new starting quarterback. What foundation are you building from here? You know what I'm saying? Like, you still have some guys I guess it's like a full rebuild. But this is the thing. I didn't think the Eagles needed to do a full rebuild off that 2017 team that won a Super Bowl. You still had some pieces that you could have built around with, and they just done an awful job of building around it. They basically just went with the same team, and they just can't do that. I understand you might have had some good, some good pieces there at the time, but I mean, those guys were aging then. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. I mean, the biggest indictment on Howard Roseman has to be, the Jalen Reich pick last season with Justin Jefferson sitting there. That made no sense to me. JJ Arcega-Whiteside, that made no sense to me because, I mean, DK Metcalf was clearly a better receiver that season. I know he had some health concerns, but I mean, still, man, the guy was a beast. It didn't make sense to not take him. And I want to say, well, they probably didn't have a chance to draft A.J. Brown, but still in all, bro, the drafting this guy has been absolutely terrible. Now, hopefully, this doesn't ruin Jalen Hurts' career, because we've seen stuff like this happen a lot, where quarterbacks that's young goes to situations that's basically a mess, and it could easily, ruin this guy's career, because look at Haskins. I mean, he had a similar situation where he came into a team, and I'm not trying to compare him to Dwayne Haskins because, I mean, he might be better than Haskins, but we just don't know yet. As of right now, I would say he is a better quarterback than Dwayne Haskins, but it's a similar thing to where he went to a situation that was just a mess, and it never really got fixed. It's just pretty bad. And the best thing for him was to get out of Washington. Now, I'm not saying that it was just the organization that failed him, but like I said, we've seen stuff like this happen before. So I just wish Jalen Hurts the best of luck, because honestly, if Howard Roseman's going to be a part of this rebuild, man, at least for like this first season or two, I mean, who knows? Because like I said, it still doesn't make sense to me that he's there now. But if he's going to be the one that's going to be the GM to rebuild this team, I don't see that playing out too well. But like I said, I wish Jalen Hurts the best of luck. And, congratulations. He got a starting position. So I want to get back to Carson Wentz. Now, I don't want people to think that just because Carson Wentz got traded to the Colts, that he's just going to, blast back onto the scene like he was back in 2017. I'm not saying that I think Carson Wentz is completely washed. I do think that he still has a lot of talent left in him. He made some pretty damn good throws this season alone. And I do think Carson Wentz is still a good quarterback. What I'm saying is the dude's confidence was shot. And he's, like I said, he is working with the right coach right now to get him back on track. But I don't think this just instantly turns the Colts into like a damn playoff contender or nothing like that. If anything, I mean, they already were, because this team is pretty good. They have a pretty good roster right now as it is anyway. So if anything, you probably would be concerned with Carson Wentz joining this team, because you don't know what's going to happen or how it's going to play out, at least not in this first season. Maybe in the next 2 seasons, you just never know. So I wouldn't just up and turn around and say that this is going to make the Colts, a top 5 team in the AFC like Dan Orlovsky did. This guy is ridiculous, man. I mean, I need someone to believe in me the way that Dan Orlovsky, Jesus, I can't talk today. The way that Dan Orlovsky, the way he believes in Carson Wentz, man, because some of the stuff this guy was saying was just ridiculous. This guy said he thinks Carson Wentz is going to be an MVP. This is going to be like the 2017 Eagles team. And I mean, I guess I see what he's saying, in a sense, but dude, relax, man.
I think the reality for this move when it comes to the Colts is it places them. I think there's 4 teams as we sit here today that are top of the AFC conference. Kansas City, obviously. Buffalo, obviously. Cleveland, and this puts Indy in that top 4. Number 2, I would put Carson Wentz into the MVP conversation. Huh? And then 3, I'd say this 2021 Colts team is going to look a heck of a lot like that 2017 Philadelphia Eagles team. You're talking about a top 5 offensive line and run game. That's what he had in Philly. Philly didn't have a star in 2017.
Nigga. My nigga.
I mean, I'm sitting there watching this thing and I'm like, bro, you can come up for air now. Like, you can calm down. This dude sounded like he had a full-on erection talking about Carson Wentz, man. It just was kind of uncomfortable. I'm like, dude, don't be ridiculous. Now, I understand that sometimes on ESPN and some of these shows, they have to play up for the camera. But geez, man, that's just pretty ridiculous. I will say this, man. I do think this is a perfect move for Carson Wentz. I do think this is the perfect spot for him to be to, start revitalizing his career. He's still young. He's still got a lot of ball left in him. And like I say, he's with the perfect person. But the crazy thing about this is now that Carson Wentz has been traded, both the first and second pick in the 2016 draft now play on different teams. I think Carson Wentz got the best side of his. We don't know about Jared Goff, man, going to Detroit. But yeah, that's all I got today. Like I said earlier, we do have an update podcast or a video coming out, like I said, within the next day or 2. Because yeah, I've been pretty much fucking off and slacking and stuff like that. And my computer was being a fucking mess when I decided to, want to get back to doing work and stuff like that. But yeah, man. Like I said, no excuses. We plan on, kicking out more content this year. And that's what we're going to stick to. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like and comment your thoughts down below. But with that, I'm out.